Welcome, y'all. It is now high school football season in Limestone County. It's game week. I am your Limestone County sports host, Greg Wise, and this is my co-host,
Jay Vassar.
Jay, I came up with something this morning. It's a football term. The older kids at school don't like it. The younger kids love it. I think we need to start calling you JV.
That'll work.
Are you okay with
That's
JV?
Fine. That's
okay,
fine. That's
okay.
Fine.
So from now on, anybody, if you're referencing the show, instead of calling Jay Vassar, just call him JV. And again, just a football term. It's going to be awesome. But speaking of football, we've done some coaches interviews. Last one was a couple weeks ago. We've different sports too, man. It was a lot of fun.
Great job, man. I enjoyed them all.
I did too. I appreciate it, man. There's so much insight, man. These folks who are coaching ball, like I have no clue what they were doing.
And did you know all that about Coach Story?
Did not know that he was down there he left right before the 92 championship team in Alabama. But he was down there in the heydays of the late 80s and early 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of cool stuff. I've heard a lot of cool stuff, man, over the last few weeks interviewing these coaches. And really just the X's and O's of the sports that they coach, I don't have a clue. Like, all of the parents who were in the stands and bad-mouthing coaches all the time.
Yeah.
They know everything. I'm one of those guys. I don't have a clue.
Yeah, and great story by Coach Nave. I didn't even know he went to Clements.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
He was baller.
Yeah, he was.
Baller. Well, on the website that we use, we reference it a lot of times in the show and throughout the season, ahsfhs.org. I looked up on there, and it's got his name on there, Jimmy Don Nave, back in I think he was in the 70s is what he said. Really fantastic football player. They had a really good team.
And number 60 running the ball.
Man, that would have been awesome. And not just a fluke one time he picked scoop and score or anything like that. He was number 60 toting the rock full time and a all-state back doing it at number 60.
And when we break down Clements and West here coming up shortly, I'll tell you another little funny story about his brother.
Oh, Jimmy Dunn's brother?
Mike Nave.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. Hey, we're going to jump right in. We got a ton of info. Obviously, our first show of the season.
Yeah.
This is season 2. We started doing this last year, and I really enjoy it just because I love local sports, local high school sports, especially football.
Yeah.
And we plan to do this every week, Lord willing, and the creeks don't rise, which, as we've seen in recent days in local weather, that is very well possible.
Especially in Chattanooga last week.
Yeah, has some crazy weather. But Lord willing, we'll be doing this every week. Usually drop these in the midweek time, Tuesday, Wednesday, and give you time, guys, plenty of time to listen to it before those games start up on Thursday and Friday night. And if you're just now tuning in, we've got some breaking news we're going to share at the end of the show about one of our teams, local teams, and stick around. Make sure you hang out for that. It's going to be cool for that organization and that team and that program. Looking forward to it. Jumping right in, Jay, we're just going to kind of start from the bottom, and what I mean by bottom is size-wise, not performance on the field by any means. If you are new to high school football in Alabama, has 7 different classes. That's 1A all the way through 7A. 7A would be the biggest, and that is based solely on population.
Yeah.
There are some other factors that are considered in regards to private schools. They have some, I think, a little different numbers because they have some weird things that they can do as far as kids coming in out of district and things like that. And so the AHSAA tries to offset that with some other factors. And so for the most part, it's solely numbers in the higher grade levels. Yeah. And then in our county, we have 2A Tanner, which will be the smallest school by size, not by state championships by any means. Mm-hmm. They're at the top of the list, and successful football program at the top of the list. And then 3A, we have Clements and Elkmont. Clements and Elkmont are both in the same region. And then we have West Limestone, the lone 4A school in Limestone County, and then we have 2 5A schools, and that is East Limestone and Ardmore. Both of those are also in the same region and then we close it out with Athens High School, which is 6A, which I hear is flirting with 7A.
Yes.
Now, reclassification will come up in December.
Yep.
And so they are thinking they may make the jump from 6A to 7A. I think they were just a few kids short last year.
Yeah, they're mighty close.
Mm-hmm. I think everybody else will probably stay in their classifications. When you look on the website, most of the other teams are kind of mid-pack. Lindsay Lane was one of those. They were flirting with originally years ago they were 1A, and right about the time they started football, they made the jump to 2A, and so we'll talk about them later in the show as well. Currently, they're 2A in all the sports that they're doing. But anyway, jumping down to Tanner in the south part of the county. Matt Smith is in year 2 of coaching the Rattlers down there. And just side note, we've got about 4 2-year coaches, second-year coaches in our county. Last year we had 4 first-time head coaches, and so looking forward to year 2 of those guys and a lot more coaching experience under the belt. What do you know about the Rattlers, Jay?
Well, I know, didn't they make the playoffs last year?
No, they
were close, right?
They were one short. I think they got down to that last region game, maybe against Red Bay.
That's right.
Red Bay beat them, and so they were still in the running late in the season.
Yeah, they play. Matt has them playing hard, and Matt's a great guy, great coach, and they always bring it. Crowds show up down at the pit, as they call it, and And I think you got to see little Tanner Friday night, didn't you?
I did not. Did Tanner play Friday night?
Did they play Ardmore in a jamboree or something?
Oh no, Ardmore and Tanner play this week.
Oh,
that's
it's this
game
week.
1.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
I thought it was this week. I'm
no.
sorry.
I don't think Tanner had a jamboree because I know Ardmore did.
Okay.
We didn't have we had Meet the Tigers.
That's right.
This past Friday night, we had a spring game or spring jamboree, if you will. And side note on jamborees before we get too far in the show. There were some jamborees this last week. I think West and Elkmont played. Clements and Lexington played. I think maybe that's it in the teams that we cover. I don't put a lot of stock in jamboree games. I think if you look at the scores of jamboree games, most of the time what teams will do is play their varsity guys or ones-on-ones in the first half, and maybe that next drive as they come out of the half, see how they respond to halftime, and then they usually kind of clear the benches of the JV guys and those younger guys. And so like Ardmore had a jamboree or a spring game, and they played West Morgan halftime, ones-on-ones. It's 21-21, heck of a little football game. Come out of the locker room, West Morgan scored, Ardmore didn't. So as far as the varsity guys, West Morgan's 28, Ardmore 21. Then you put the younger guys in, and sometimes it can kind of get out of hand. And so the score is really not, showing kind of what was on the field. And so I don't put a lot of stock. And now it's very good for the programs.
Yeah.
You know, the kids can see what game days look like, especially younger guys.
And I know Tanner and Clements did some OTAs in the summer.
Yep. That's pretty much just a practice with another team.
Yeah.
And so that's very beneficial for them. I've heard a lot of coaches kind of going away from the 7-on-7s that happens during the summer. There are some teams that still do those. Very beneficial for your quarterbacks, receivers, maybe DBs, but there's no linemen. Yeah. And most of our teams that we cover are 80% run, 20% pass. So I don't know how much beneficial that is. A lot of teams going away from that. But no, Tanner has not been on the field yet. Ardmore hasn't either. They open up this Friday night. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we get through all of the teams and their kind of season expectations, and then we'll go to these Friday night games. Tanner, on their schedule last year, they were 2-8 on the season, 1-4 in the region. Again, we if they had been, I think, 2-3, they could have still made the playoffs.
That's right.
Their schedule, again, they are opening up at Ardmore. They were at Ardmore last year, going back to Ardmore. I think Coach Snyder and Matt worked out a deal where they would come back up there. And so Tanner headed back to Ardmore Friday night, and then they are again, I'm assuming the schedules on here are right as far as locations go. But they got Colbert County, Winston County, Lexington, Bell Green, Clements, Tharpton, Decatur Heritage, they got a bye week on October the 17th, and then they close out with Red Bay and Sweetwater. Teams in their region: Winston County, Lexington, Thornton, Decatur Heritage, and Red Bay. Jay, just kind of throwing some numbers out there with that schedule. They were 2-8 last year. Over and under wins of 3. I'm
going to go under. I think it's going to be about the same.
You think 3 or under?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, when you look at that schedule, most of these schedules rotate every 2 years. When they reclassify, then they'll, usually maybe pick up a different region opponent or something like that, have to do some different things with some out-of-region games. Yeah. And so they're playing pretty much the same schedule this year that they had last year. All of the teams that we are covering do. And so, yeah, you're right. When you look down through that schedule there's a couple winnable games, and then there's a couple games that they can be competitive in, but I really think numbers will probably get them late in the game. Yeah. And I think you're right, over and under on 3. Hopefully they'll get more than that.
I hope so. Get that, get in the playoffs.
Yep. Now, is Play Action Sports still covering those Tanner games?
Well, I think so. We, like I said, we had our first show Saturday, in which I was out of town, but I think they're still going to do some of the games. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
Good deal. All right, good luck to the Rattlers. Again, they open up this Friday night at Ardmore. We'll just get to that game later on in the show after we get through the rest of these teams. Moving on to 3A, we'll start off with the Clements Colts. Brick Pugh is down there in year 2. Many of you know him very well from his playing days at East Limestone. Clements was 1-9 last year, 0-7 in the region. 0-7 means they got an 8-team region. They got to win a lot of games to make the playoffs. Yeah. And what do you know about the Colts, Jay?
Well, I know they had a good showing the other night against Lexington, which is, like you said, it's a jamboree game.
Well, I seen the score. I think it was like 28-6, but you're like, okay, what was it at halftime? Yeah. But they don't post those scores. They just post the final of a jamboree game, which who knows.
And I know they got some more kids came out, and I think they're going to be a little bit stronger this year than they were last year. So I mean, they still going when they play Ardmore and. The numbers will get them, but I think they're going to be over this time in wins and what they got them posted, because I think the kids are working hard, and I think Brick's got them going in the right direction. So
yeah, well, that's the thing about last year we already mentioned we had 4 first-year coaches, which means they probably came in the middle of summer. Yeah. And so a lot of them didn't have time to get in any kind of strength and conditioning programs, just trying to get their feet under them, get rolling, knowing the kids, new to the school and all that stuff. And so year 2 should be very beneficial. I know Brick came on. He was one of those coaches that we talked to a few weeks ago. And that was one of the things that he mentioned, just getting those kids in the weight room, building relationships with them, and getting them to the level of play that he's accustomed to.
He's got a couple of injuries, but I think he held them out of the jamboree. Said they should be ready to go Friday night.
Yeah. I know last year when they played, Ardmore went to Clements, and they probably played Ardmore better in the first half than almost any team we played. They were ready to go. Brick had them fired up, and Brick's play calling, he's kind of offensive guy playing quarterback in his playing days. Play calling was great. Yeah. And so he had it tied again, like you mentioned in the Tanner and Clements be struggling with numbers.
And, they were in a lot of games in the first half, but it seemed like when they come out the second half, it was like a whole different team. Yeah.
Well, that's what, happens at these smaller schools, 2A, 3A schools, who are not dressing a lot of kids, dressing, high 20s or low 30s on players. And then I know Clements and Tanner both play Ardmore, which is 5A school. Ardmore's dressing close to 70 this year, if not 70. And so they're playing a lot of Clements and Tanner, Elmont too. Yeah. Playing a lot of kids both ways. And so when they come out of the locker room at halftime, you can tell they're a little more gassed than some of the other teams with a lot more players. And there are those traditional 2A, 3A programs who do dress a lot.
Yeah.
And so when they're going to play some of those teams and they're dressing 50-something kids at a 3A school, that's big, man. That's real big. Clements last year 1-9 on the season, 0-7 in region play. I think we've got them over and under on wins at 4. What are you feeling, JV?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go over 4.
Over or 4 or over, or you're just taking the over on 4?
Well, 4 or over, right?
Yeah, well, whatever you want to pick. I mean, we're not making predictions here. We're not gambling. We don't promote that by any means. We're just throwing some numbers out there for entertainment purposes only.
4 I'll go 4 under.
Okay, let's go through their schedule here. They open up. West Limestone comes to town. Big county rivalry, that game, man. That game's had some slobber knockers in recent years, and always a good game. And you're going to mention something. Let's go.
Go through the schedule, and I'll let you know.
Yeah. Then they go to Ardmore, Colbert Heights, Rogers, Elkmont, Tanner, Lauderdale County, Colbert County, Sheffield, and then they close out their season. They don't get a bye week till the last week.
I know.
They close out their season with the number 1 ranked team in 3A football, the reigning 3A football champion, Mars Hill.
Yeah, they should be in the college football playoff.
Yeah, well, I think some prognosticators, is that how you say that word?
Yeah.
They have Mars Hill in there at the 12 seed.
Wow.
Yeah, and again, Mars Hill 3A won it last year. Mars Hill also in Clements region, which is a tough region. That region includes, of those games we mentioned, Colbert Heights, Rogers, Elkmont, Lauderdale County, Colbert County, Sheffield, and Mars Hill. Man, that's a big 8-team region. Got to win probably 4 games to get to the playoffs.
And this will be Mars Hill's last year in 3A.
I was telling somebody I wouldn't doubt if they bump them to like 6 or 7A.
They need to go 5A.
Yeah,
and just let them see how it really is.
Yeah, well, they played Russellville last year.
And they played Scottsboro.
Mars Hill did. Did Russellville beat them? I think Mars Hill beat Russellville.
Yeah, but Scottsboro beat them. I watched that game. It was a good game.
Yeah, that's probably where they need to be. Just because Ardmore and East is in 5A, they probably need to be playing like 6A. Get in the Athens region or something. Anyway, Jay, you going 4 or over for Clements?
Yeah.
All right. Any wins? Yeah, there's a couple games on there. You know that they could possibly win a couple more games that they can be competitive in. I'm going to put them right at 4, which will be a big improvement from last year at 1-9. And then hopefully reclassification will help them out maybe with some region stuff. And, all of these, again, second-year coaches are playing schedules that was already formulated for them from like 2 years ago, 3 years ago when they reclassified the last time. And so I know those things can always help.
So my funny story is actually my father-in-law was telling me this over the weekend. We were talking about
your father-in-law wouldn't lie to you, would he?
No, he was helping out that year. He helped
West. At Clements?
No, he helped at West.
Oh, okay.
Back in the day when Coach Nate was there, and then Coach Pugh. But he told me about they were playing at Clements, and Coach Nate got thrown out of the game.
Mike Nave got thrown out.
So I don't know where he was, but he had a deputy's radio and was calling into plays from the deputy's radio.
There's no way that's real. And so he was at West coaching.
Yeah.
Mike Nave was at West coaching. He gets thrown out of the West and Clements game, and he is radioing in the calls.
This was either 86 or 87, I think.
So I'm assuming one of his assistants also had a radio, or just a deputy was standing over there by him.
Deputy was standing beside it.
That's good, brother. Hey, that's old school. We gonna make it happen and figure it out.
Yeah.
That's good. I wish we could verify. Now, I trust you, father-in-law. But is that like one of those old?
He told me. He said that's the honest truth. He said, yeah, he got thrown out, but he got a deputy's radio still.
That is fantastic, bro. That's good stuff. That's like some of those old NASCAR cheating. Yeah. Not that he was cheating by any means, but one of them old all the old school stuff they used to do to win races.
Or even like what Bobby Valentine did that year with the Mets. He got thrown out and he put that mask on, that
yes,
nose and glasses.
yes. Like nobody would know.
Oh, me.
All right. Hey, man, that's good stuff. Maybe we need to find some of those Nave folks to verify.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. All right, moving on. The other 3A team in our county in the same region as Clements is Elkmont. Elkmont is coached by Joel Shrink. He is also in year 2 there at the Hilltop. They were 2-8 last year, 1-6 in region. I think the only region game they won was against Clements. They had a barn burner.
Yeah.
And again, you got anything going on with the Red Devils, Jay?
I know I think they lost some good kids, and they're going to be, smaller, I think.
Yeah. Smaller. I think they've got more kids dressed, though.
Yeah.
From what I can tell, I know last year, especially late in the season, they were getting down in the 20s as far as guys they were dressing out. Looked like Coach Shrink has been recruiting the halls there and got, 3, 4, 5 more.
I think I heard they got 23.
23, yeah, may do it. That'd be about the same as last year, I think. I think that might have been early fall camp.
Okay.
He maybe had 26, 28, and so may have lost some between now and then, but still working hard. I know they open up this Thursday night. If you're listening to this podcast before Thursday, that'll be the first real opening game for county teams is Thursday night. They play St. John Paul II, and they are playing at the old Joe Davis Stadium. Those of you in this been in this area for a long time know Joe Davis Stadium from the Huntsville Stars days, which is now the Trash Pandas. Used to be the Huntsville Stars and played down at Joe Davis Stadium on South Parkway in Huntsville. They've renovated that facility and made a pretty cool facility out of it. You been over there?
Not yet. I've heard a lot of great things about it. We were talking to Coach Gross last year when they played May Jemison over. Said it's a great facility.
Yeah. They played there too?
Yeah, they played May Jemison there last year.
Gotcha. I didn't know. Our Ardmore played May Jemison a couple of years ago, and they played at Milton Frank.
Yeah.
I just looked it up on Google Maps, and it's weird because it used to be a baseball stadium, and they've kind of kept some of the seating, press box stuff, but elongated the field and put some bleachers on. I assume what is the visitor side and on the end zones. Looks like a really neat, cool facility, especially for high school football.
All turf for the Huntsville Football Club. So
yes, well, yeah, that semi-pro or I guess
it's like the minor leagues of the Nashville soccer team, MLS team. So
yeah, well, I was talking about there's some semi-pro football that's playing over there too. Maybe the Alabama Beavers.
It was the Beavers, and I think they changed their name because of some kind of litigation. Or something.
Is it now the Rockets?
Might be.
Huntsville Rockets?
Might be. I don't know.
I just see it pop up on my, social media feeds every once in a while, and was like, hey, we've got some pro or semi-pro football in town. But yeah, Elkmont will be over there Thursday night. I assume kickoff is at 7 p.m. Be good for the players up there at Elkmont getting over there to play in that venue. And again, Lord willing, me and Jay may be over there and live stream that game. There's a lot of variables that goes into that. Weather, I know there's small chance of rain and other things. And me and Jay both work full-time jobs.
Yeah.
And so, we may could get off work and be absolutely exhausted and be like, hey, I'm too old to be driving, 45 minutes from the house to live stream a high school football game. But nonetheless, we may get over there if everything works out. We'll see. We're possibly trying out some new software that I've run up on where we can have a scoreboard graphic on the screen while we're just streaming from a phone, and we don't have to take a bunch of equipment and make it super easy. And that's something we may start doing in the future on other games if we can get freed up. I know you're usually at games on Friday night.
Yeah.
I got a kid playing at Ardmore for at least 2 more years, so I'm tied up on Friday nights. Maybe looking at some of those bye-week games or Thursday night games or something. Elkmont's schedule, again, they start Thursday night at Joe Davis against St. John Paul II. Then they got Lexington, Lauderdale County, Colbert Heights, Clements, Sheffield, the number 1 team in 3A, reigning state champion Mars Hill, Colbert County, Rogers, and then they close at home on Halloween with Ardmore. Again, the same region as Clements. Tough region, especially when you throw in Mars Hill. But a couple of other juggernauts. Lauderdale County, which is, they've been going to second, third, I even think maybe fourth round in the last couple of years, third round at least. And so lots of good teams in that region.
I bet Coach Shrink wished he had the basketball area instead of that.
Yes, their basketball area, pretty good.
Yeah.
Football, not so much.
Yeah.
That's the AFC South, I think.
Yeah.
Is the region that they are in. Again, they were 2-8 last year, 1-6 in the region. Over under on wins, Jay, got them clocking in at 4. 4 wins for the Elkmont Red Devils. You going 4 or more or 4 or less?
4 or less.
4 or less. Unfortunately, that's my alma mater, Jay. I'm going to have to agree with you there. Again, that is a juggernaut of a schedule. There is some winnable games in there. I think that week 1, Thursday night, is one of those, and hopefully they can grab a few others as the season rolls along. Moving from 3A to our lone 4A high school in Limestone County, the West Limestone Wildcats. You know anything about West Limestone, Jay?
Just I know they got a new quarterback. He's a good. He can throw the ball. He's not that accurate, is what I've heard.
Yeah,
but he can run the ball.
Is he he come from some other school or just been at West?
I think he moved in. I ain't for sure.
Gotcha. Well, they've had some quarterbacks move in like the last 2 or 3 years in a row. It's just, hey, this other kid moves in. This other kid moves in.
I heard they had some kind of big dudes.
Yeah.
And they they're always right there at 5 wins every year. They usually finish 500 every year. So Coach Davis does a great job out there, and his staff, and which they play in a tough region as well. They got Deshler and all of them. So.
We'll talk about that here shortly. Shelby, you're talking about Coach Davis. Shelby Davis is the senior coach in
I forgot about that.
in Limestone County. Obviously, Cody's been in Athens. I think he's going into year 10. But Shelby is in year 8 at West Limestone, so he's the senior coach in the Limestone County schools.
He's been there a while.
Yep.
And had a lot of success there. So.
Mm-hmm. Last year, you're correct. They're always usually floating around there 500 every once in a while. They'll have some good years, get 6, 7, 8 wins. Last year they were 4-6, 3-5 in region play, right on the edge of making playoffs. I think they got down there in the end of their season and had to win a couple games late. Didn't happen. Again, that's a tough region. We'll talk about that. Going through their schedule. We've already mentioned the big county rivalry game they open up at Clements. Hopefully no coaches get thrown out and are radioing in plays from a Limestone County's finest. Then they got East Lawrence, West Morgan, Danville, Central Florence, East Limestone, Hatton, Wilson, Deshler, Brooks, and then their bye week is on that Halloween there. We got them ringing in. They were 4-6 last year, 3-5 in region. Over and under wins for the West Limestone Wildcats at 5. How you feeling on that, Jay?
I'm gonna stick with the under 5. 4 wins is probably gonna be what from last year.
Yeah, I do see maybe one more game in there. I think they could. They'll be competitive in and get another win. I think they could get to 5, but I'm with you. I think 5 or less. And, man, you're talking about, a monster region west. That Elkmont and Clements region in 3A, this 4A region loaded. West Morgan, who was in the semi-final last year, 1 game away from making it to the final. Yeah. And then, East Lawrence is winnable. Danville, Central Florence is going to be tough. Central Florence was ranked pretty much all year. Last year, Hatton has Nikita Stover over there now. He's got an assistant, Coach Moose, who was offensive coordinator at Ardmore for a little while, is over down there at Hatton with him. And then got Deshler and Brooks, another tough region.
Yeah, I heard, too, with Hatton's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, well, they've usually had some dogs down there, and so and I'm sure Nikita knows how to get them rolling.
Oh yeah.
Dexter and Brooks are always good football programs. Brooks is another one of those teams you talk about flirting with bumping up. When the reclassification came out the last time, Brooks was 5A when it first came out and was in the region with East and Ardmore and that region. And we were like, well, this is great. We just picked up another juggernaut in our region. And then I think somebody made some calls and somebody supposedly sent in some numbers wrong or something, and they got back, got it right. They fixed it and bumped them back down to 4A. So when reclassification comes back around here in December, that might be one of those teams that bumps up to 5A. Anything else on West, Jay?
No, just looking forward to the game Friday night and see how it goes.
Same. All right, bumping up to 5A. First of our 5A schools in Limestone County is East Limestone. Will Johnson, we had him on the show about a month ago, one of those kind of newer coaches that we got in on the show so people in our community can hear from them personally and just get to know them a little better, and they can promote their programs. Man, you're talking about a guy that knows some X's and O's. Will Johnson's been around a lot of good football programs.
Yes. He's a good dude, and I think he'll do well out there at East again this year.
Yeah. Now, again, he's like most of the rest of them. He came in late, so didn't, get to implement some of the things that he's wanted to do, weight room, condition, all that stuff. Got a year under his belt, been able to do that, and seems to have them headed in the right direction.
And got Coach Russ Freeman out there to help him this year.
Russ has been around a lot of good football programs, and he picked up, he told me on the show, you may have to go back and listen to it, he's picked up an offensive guy who I think is going to be his offensive coordinator from West Morgan. And if you know West Morgan football, pretty proficient in the offensive side of the ball, and so that'll probably help them out as well. East Limestone was 1-9 last year. They were 0-6 in region play. Their lone win came against West Limestone in one of those infamous hurricane games that was going on throughout our county. We had two of those last year, by the way. There were 2 Fridays when there were hurricanes or tropical storms by the time they get up here. And, the rain is blowing in sideways. And those games were great.
Yeah.
That's how I describe those, great.
Especially when you're a guy on the sideline having to film it for your sports network.
Yeah, when you're on the sideline volunteering to be in a hurricane to shoot video for your kids' teams, it makes it that much better, Jay. It's just so awesome. East Limestone schedule, they open up with Westminster Christian, who's been a pretty good 4A. They've been in 4A and been in the playoffs the last couple of years. I don't know what Westminster has returning or anything.
I don't know.
Then they got Hazel Green, which is 6A. Then they got a bye week, and then they jump into region play at Russellville, and then they've got Priceville, West Limestone, Lawrence County, West Point, Ardmore, Fairview, and close out the season at Shelby County. Looking at over and under on wins, got them at 3, Jay. What do you think?
I'll stay 3.
I'm going to go over.
3 or over?
I'm going 3 or over.
I'll take that.
And especially if they get out of the gate with one of the 2 wins versus Westminster or Hazel Green, I think they can get to 3 easily. And they're going to be competitive in a lot more of these games than they were last year for sure.
And 2, we don't know what the specifics is with Russellville because they usually are that team, and they've lost one of their best running backs.
Yeah, Russell had a D1 running back. We sent him last year. He was putting up 200, 250 on every team he played, except Martell, by the way. Yeah. They only held him to like 150. But yeah, D1 back. He is not going to be eligible to play football, I would assume, forever. And hate that for that kid in that situation. But yeah, don't know what Russellville's going to be looking like. Russellville's always going to be Russellville, though. Yeah. They always going to have players and have dudes, and so they're very winnable games on that schedule, and I think they're going to do it, Jay. Especially what if they get out of the hole 2-0?
They could do
beat
it.
Westminster and Hazel Green.
Yeah.
Hey, have a little momentum going to Russellville.
Hazel Green game up there?
On here, it's got at East and Westminster and Hazel Green at East. Then they got a bye week, then go to Russellville. I think they can get to 3 wins. I'm going to take them 3 and over, and hopefully they get there.
I'm going to do that as well.
I like it. All right, closing in. I know we're taking all day here, but hey, this is the first episode of season 2 of Limestone County Sports, and so we're fired up about football.
Can't rush this, man.
Yeah, and we're just fired up about football, man. It's football week.
Yeah,
we're recording on Monday of the first legitimate high school football week here in our area, and we're fired up about it.
I'm ready.
All right, last 2 teams that we're covering was the 2 most successful teams in our county. Athens is also in our county. They're in Athens City Schools, so not one of the county schools. But Ardmore, they finished the season at 8-3, made the first round of the playoffs. They were 4-2 in the region. Jonathan Snyder is now getting up there as one of those seasoned vets in Limestone County. He is on year 5 as a head coach. In his first head coaching gig, as many of you know, he was at Athens with Coach Gross for many, many years, almost a decade, and I think he coached some over at Sparkman before that. And so seasoned vet, learning, the learning curve has passed, and he's chugging along right now. We're, program building culture, all of those things are in place now, where the next, those younger kids coming up know what they have to do to get on the field, know the expectations, and so they keep chugging along. Again, they're 8-3, 4-2 on the season. Let's run through their schedule real quick, Jay. Again, as we've already mentioned, Tanner comes to town, and then they Clements, first 3 games at home, which bodes well for the team, not so much for the paint crew. It's only going to be 112 degrees. But anyway, Tanner, Clements, Priceville, all 3 at home. And then week 4 at Fairview. Fairview, by the way, is currently, in regards to the Alabama State Riders Association, the number 6 team in the state in 5A. And then the next week they got Russellville. And so first 5 weeks will be the tale of the tape for the Ardmore Tigers. If they're 3-0 going to Fairview, Ardmore's got to figure out how to get over that hump and beat Fairview or Russellville. Because
they're like the Mars Hill 5A.
Yes.
Kind of.
Well, yes, Fairview and Russellville has been too. Yeah. Fairview and Russellville has just, duked it out for that 1 and 2 spot in that region for the last handful of years that I can remember.
And didn't they have a double overtime game last year?
Yes.
At Russellville?
Yes, I watched that one on the NFSA, whatever network that is. Watched it online, and of course I'm texting everybody, are y'all watching this game? Are y'all watching this game?
Because I was at most shows, watching most shows in Athens.
Yes, man, it was great. Great high school football game. But anyway, first 5 weeks is big for the Tigers. If they can get to Fairview at 3-0, they've got the dudes. I know Coach Snyder is not going to appreciate me saying this, because he would say it's rat poison. But
say it.
I don't know if I've ever been able to say this, and I've been around Ardmore football going on for 6-7 years now with kids playing and that stuff. Ardmore is loaded.
Yeah. I mean, you've told me, that the class that Judah's in.
Yeah,
that
junior class is, got around 20, 22, 24, depending on the day. Most of them are starters or are starting in some form or fashion. They got a good group of seniors. All of those seniors is going to be getting, a lot of playing time. Most of them starting, and big dudes, man. Yeah. Offensive lineman that's been starting for 3 years. They got 2 backs that, in my opinion, are flying under the radar. One of them was a 1,000-yard back last year. One of them was a 700-yard back last year. So you got 1,700 yards between the 2 of them. Both of them could easily be 1,000-yard rushers. You got a
Hawthorne and
Riddle.
Riddle, that's right.
They swapped numbers. or this year, went on 0, went on 6, and then number 1, Noah Stafford, returning receiver, probably will be one of the best receivers in the county. Smaller stature guy, but dude, you talking about some wheels. If they can get the ball to him on the outside, he can go. Having them 3 dudes with a veteran quarterback who's also a junior, been starting since 9th grade, they're going to be able to put up some points. And Snyder is a defensive guy. So the pieces we lost last year were on the defensive side, but that doesn't scare me at all because I know Snyder's going to be able to put something together. And Austin Kanzler is a outside linebacker who started getting a lot of playing time last year. He's a junior in that junior class. Almost everybody will keep talking about juniors. He's going to be bringing the heat. That's a name. Braden Atkins is a senior on the DB corners, all those guys. He's going to be hitting some folks too. And so I just know a lot about them. So obviously my kid plays there, so I can throw those names out there. But anyway, they're going to be pretty good if they get through Fairview and if they could get one of those, they would have an opportunity to do something that's never been done in Ardmore history and host a playoff game.
And you'll get to do something you've never done before.
And paint the end zone. The kids have asked. There is a picture up in the locker room of a checkered board end zone at Ardmore. Now, of course, it's not the Tennessee checkered board. It's a black and yellow or black and Vegas gold checkered board. And kids have asked for years for us to paint the end zones. And I've told them for years, if you will host a playoff game, we will paint the end zone. If it's ever going to happen, it's going to be this year. Yeah. And they got to do one of 2 things to get there, either beat Fairview or Russellville or both of them, or you still make the playoffs, go on the road, win, and then come back home and hopefully come back home and host there. But after Russellville, they got Madison County, a bye week. Then they got Lawrence County, East Limestone, West Point, and Elkmont. Ardmore over, under, wins 8. What do you like, Jay?
I'm going to go on a limb and say 9.
I am going to side with you. For the first time, I don't want to say ever, because I'd have to go back and look at the see how many times they've played in history. But, back up. For the first time ever, I think Ardmore hosts a playoff game.
I think they will too.
If they can get one of those 2, Fairview or Russellville, and then take care of business in all the other games.
But you got Russellville at home, right?
Yes, Russellville's at home.
There you go.
Fairview is on the road. We played well at Fairview 2 years ago when we went down there, and that team was not very good. But we played well with them well into the second half. I think if they can get one of those 2 games, take care of business. Now, they still got to take care of business in all these other games. Lawrence County's going to be good. They made playoffs last year. Lawrence County did. East Limestone's county rivalry, like we were talking about. East Limestone gets out of the gate hot.
Is that fall break?
Yes. Yes, I think so. That's on the end of fall break.
Oh, wow.
You know, those games can be crazy. Crazy stuff happens all the time.
Homecoming week's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why Ardmore's homecoming week is Clement's the second week of the season, and I think he intentionally did that. So let's just get it out of the way, and so we can motor on and focus on the games that we need to focus on. I think I'm gonna put them at 9, and I think it would be magical if they 10-0 hosting a playoff game. Then you get to host a 4 seed. Then you may end up hosting 2 home games. Who knows?
No pressure on you, Bryant Wells.
Yeah, no pressure. Bryant Wales. Bryant Wales is the offensive coordinator at Ardmore. And, dude, you talking about a dude with going to be a sweet job. Like, I've seen him around practice, go up there, shoot some video, do some other things. Dude, he's got some weapons, bro. Yeah. His quarterback is seasoned. Those 2 backs in the backfield. When those 2 are in the backfield, it does not matter which one of them gets the ball. And you add Noah Stafford on some jet sweeps, bubble screen, slants. They can throw in the deep ball. They may end up getting more flags for too many dogs on the field than they do anything else.
It's going to be fun to watch, I know.
Now, if they listen to this, they're going to be mad because I'm giving them the rat poison.
Yeah.
But guys, don't worry. Your players don't listen to this podcast. All right, last.
Unless Judah shows it to him.
Judah don't listen to it. My own son, he don't listen to this. Athens, 6A. Only 6A team here in our county. They are an Athens City school, obviously the only high school within the Athens City school system. They, much like Ardmore last year, were 8-2 in the regular season, made the first round of playoffs, lost first round. They finished 8-3, 4-2 in their region. The two teams that they've all, just like Ardmore and Athens, are pretty much identical, just two different classifications. Ardmore has, struggled traditionally with Fairview and Russellville. Athens, the two they got to get by, Muscle Shoals and Hartselle.
Yes.
Muscle Shoals and Hartselle. Muscle Shoals and Hartselle. Sometimes they do, and sometimes, like last year, they did not. Anyway, still made the playoffs. Had a great season, 8-3. Finished 4-2 in the region. Their schedule: they got May Jemison, then they got Buckhorn, Coleman. Got a bye week after Coleman. Then they got at Jasper, at Hazel Green. Then they got, guess who, back to back? Muscle Shoals and Hartselle. Both of those games are at home. That's good. Back to back. That's the first two Friday nights in October. So if you're in Athens and you want to watch good football, go to Athens Stadium on the 3rd or the 10th and watch Athens take on Muscle Shoals and Hartselle. And then they finish up with Columbia, Decatur, and out of region opponent who they've had some battles for years, Athens and Russellville. Athens will host Russellville. Over wins for the Athens Golden Eagles, Jay, is 8.
I'm going to say 8 and under because, because you're losing your quarterback.
Yeah.
Brogan Gross. They
Big
lost some
leader.
good seniors.
Yeah, big leader on the team. So, breaking in a new quarterback, I'm assuming he's not had a lot of experience because Brogan was quarterback for many years.
And I think it's going to be Grady Sullivan. Grady was one of the receivers.
Yeah. And
they got a kid that moved in from Washington, a 10th grader. He's good. Talking to
he must got an NIL deal. I'm joking.
He got it through Kona Ice. No.
Yeah.
But talking to Drew Carter, and Drew said his accuracy is a little, but said he's a big kid, about 6'4", can sling it. But what I've heard is just might be Grady, and then they may work him in some. I don't know the kid's name, but
yeah, I think 8 and under too. Jay, still got to get past Muscle Shoals and Hartselle. All the rest of those games very winnable games. There'll be possibly another Coleman maybe. They may give them a game. Most of the rest of those are very winnable games for the Golden Eagles. Cody is in here his 10th year of coaching high school football at Athens, and so he's been around talking about that culture with some other programs. Cody's been able to – they just reload every year.
Yeah.
It's not – one of the things I've learned in talking from some of these coaches is it's not – coaching has a lot to do with it. But it is a lot of, Jimmy's and the Joes. It goes up and down. You may have a class of sometimes 8 seniors at a big school, and, not a lot of leadership, things of that nature. You may, next class, 25. You may get 2 classes or 3 classes that are pretty loaded. May have, 12, 14, but they're a lot of dogs. And so the Jimmy's and Joes has a lot to do with it. But as far as culture goes, that comes from the coaching staff and doing it year after year, and Cody Gross has been able to do that.
And they got a returning running back, Xavier Edwards, I think is his name.
Yep.
He's returning back. So
he's a senior, right?
He's a senior. So
we had a coaches' night of encouragement here at Lindsay Lane a couple of weeks ago. We got our area coaches to come here to the church, and we just encouraged them. Gave them a free meal, and just let them know we're for them and want to invest in their programs and their players. And it was a trivia question. It was supposed to be funny trivia question was, which team wins more games, Athens or Ardmore?
Ardmore.
by schedule and the Jimmies and the Joes and regions, I would go Ardmore too, but about 70% of the people in the crowd went with Athens.
But, last year I was at the Hartsville game. They had a chance to win the game.
Yes.
But anyway.
Yep. Well, hey, man, those are things that, you've got to – and Cody's done that, building that culture of just being able to compete at the highest level for 4 quarters, even into overtime sometimes. And he's done that. Sometimes you win those games, sometimes you don't.
And what they do over there, feed the Eagles. They fundraise. And he does a great job over there.
Well, I appreciate what he's done because Coach Snyder's now doing those things at Ardmore. And 5 years in with Coach Snyder and his staff, we're seeing the same things, same verbiage, same culture that's being built now, where these kids who have been in the program for now 4 or 5 years with him at the helm are hearing those things, and those kids are starting to say those things themselves, hold their peers and their teammates responsible, and so that you build that culture, and then you just reload. You're going to have a good program there, and you don't have to, even when you have some of those down years of Jimmy's and Joe's, and hey, we ain't got but 8 or 12, or probably for Cody's probably 20, maybe a down year. It's still not a down year in regards to wins and losses. All right, Jay, that's the last as far as that stuff's concerned. Let's jump in real quick, and so we don't keep all these people around forever. Jump into these week's games, and we'll roll through these very quick, and then we'll get to that breaking news. Thursday's game, Elkmont at JP2, John Paul II. We'll just call him JP2, over at Joe Davis Stadium. AHSFHS.org. We get tons of stats, and every week they put out a spread, if you will, or game predictions, and we use those and just throw those out there. We'll post those in a separate post on our Facebook page later if you want to go back and look at those. They have JP2 favored by 11 over Elkmont. I didn't close my browser, but I think that's one of those games Elkmont won last year. Yeah. Well, how you feeling on that game at Joe Davis?
I'm going to take the Red Devils.
I'm going to take the Red Devils and the points also. I don't know if they'll get the win. Again, I don't know.
I don't know much about Falcons either.
Yeah, me either. What the roster looks like, but I know traditionally, Coach Shrink's going to have them ready to rock and roll, and I think they can cover the spread of 11 points either way. Moving to Friday night, Clements. Is that game at West?
No, it's at Clements.
At Clements, West Limestone is favored by 14 in that contest. West at Clements. Jay Vassar is going with his alma mater. He's got his alma mater Clements Colts gear on today. He's going to take the Clements Colts at minus 14.
Yes.
Brother, I'm going to take the Wildcats to cover the 14. Westminster at East Limestone. East Limestone is favored by 1 point. This is almost a pick'em. Yeah. But East Limestone is favored by 1 point over Westminster. Who you going with?
I'll take the Indians.
You're going to take the Indians. I'm going to take the Indians as well. I think Coach Will's got them fired up over there, ready to rock and roll. I know there's some seniors who didn't have a fun season last year. I know some of those go to church here. Davis Williams, starting offensive lineman. They ready to get after it, and I think they're going to get it done as well and get the win. Hopefully they'll get a win the next week as well, start 2-0 and go to Russell and see how it works out. Tanner at Ardmore. Ardmore favored by 27.
Ardmore.
I think Ardmore covers at 27, possibly in the first half. Not, a slight to Tanner Rattlers or Matt or any of those folks down there. Just numbers, man. Numbers. Ardmore's, going to be dressing 65, 70 dudes. They got a couple of guys that are getting some looks for some colleges. They've got one thing about Ardmore I really love to see where they, when it gets Friday night is their D-line. They're going to have Aiden Ellis, who you may have heard about. He's about 6'7", about 330. In high school football terms, he's the Mount Cody of high school football. Will probably be playing, right there on top of the ball on the defensive line. Tyler Davis is another one of those. Tyler McKnight is some guys that's going to be getting some snaps on the defensive side of the ball. If them dudes hold up, they're going to be pretty good. And I just think they got just too many dudes, too much firepower. I'd really like to see Tanner come out and hang with them for a half, just to see how Ardmore responds. But heat is going to, be a consideration there. And just Tanner's going to be playing a lot of guys both ways. Yeah. Ardmore's got maybe 2 or 3 that'll play on both sides of the ball, not many, and I just think numbers comes into play there. All right, May Jemison at Athens. Athens is surprisingly only favored by 12.
I'm going to take the Golden Eagles.
I think the Golden Eagles win that game by 40. I think they win by 40. I'll say it on the air. Athens wins that game by 40.
And I think May Jemson's got a guy going to Auburn.
Really?
Yeah.
Receiver?
I don't think so. I think he's like D-line or something.
Cool. Awesome. That's great. Let's see that kid get after it. All right. That's all we got this week. We do have some breaking news, as we promised. There's one team in the county that we have not talked about yet. That is the Lindsay Lane Christian Academy Lions. We had their coach on, Jimmy Don Nave, a few weeks ago, start talking about that program. That program has been started for a few years now. Jeremy Williams was coaching, getting it started off the ground, did a fantastic job, but they've only been able to play like middle school and JV. Their numbers has been building, and so next year they will be playing varsity football. Just side note, I think they've got a middle school game tonight at JP2, and then they will start next Monday. West will be at Lindsay Lane Christian Academy playing middle school and JV football. So if you're looking for some football in the area on next Monday night, that's August the 25th, West Limestone will be at the Lindsay Lane Christian Academy playing middle school and JV.
And they just got their new goalpost this weekend.
Yes, got some new goalposts up. That's in the works. They're talking about, putting some bleachers and some kind of stadium. There's some words behind the scenes. Hey, we would like to build us a football stadium over here and get our Friday night lights rolling. And speaking of getting their Friday night lights rolling, just cleared by the AHSAA, and hot off the press, Lindsay Lane. Now will officially in Alabama still be considered a JV game, but in all purposes it is a varsity game. They'll be playing their first ever varsity contest on October the 17th. They will be going to Chattanooga to play Grace Academy on Friday night, October the 17th, for the first ever varsity football game.
That's huge.
In Lindsay Lane Christian Academy history. That's huge for them dudes. The kids that's been playing in that program through middle school and JV.
Yes.
Their quarterbacks, Lincoln Kahn, he goes to church here. For him to be able to, hey, I was a starting quarterback for the first ever varsity football game at this school, and you don't know what Lindsay Lane will go on and do after that. But I know Jimmy Don's picked up some good assistant coaches over there. They've helped him out. Some of those dudes played with him, for him many years ago, and he's going to get it rolling, have them ready to go. I'm looking forward. JV ball, especially in this area, those local teams, most of the local teams are playing their dudes on Friday nights.
Yeah.
And especially the bigger schools that they'll be playing legitimate JV teams, and so they'll be very competitive at the JV level, and looking forward. I wish I could go to Chattanooga that night for that game. Unfortunately, that's the Easton Ardmore game. Big rivalry here in Limestone County, and so I will be at that game with my son on the sideline. Not going to be headed to Chattanooga, but hopefully maybe somebody can live stream that or something, keep us updated on the score. Looking forward to Lindsay Lane getting rolling with varsity football in October.
And speaking of football, this Saturday at East Limestone is the middle school jamboree.
Yep, middle school. All of the middle school teams in the county will be headed over to East Limestone for a jamboree. I think they play about 2 halves. They play a half and then probably sit a game and then play another half. And that gets rolling this Saturday. And obviously, we've already mentioned Altamont gets rolling Thursday night. All the rest of these games will be Friday night. We'll be keeping you updated on those scores. If you haven't already, like our page on Facebook. If you listen on YouTube, if you'll go to Facebook, And like us there, you can actually sign up for the notifications where it automatically comes to you. And we update those scores on Friday night as we get those. We've got a few people, feelers out there who send us scores, text us scores, and we share those as we get those in. Sorry we've kept you so long, but we're fired up about football.
We are, and don't forget about Saturday mornings 10 to 12 and tailgate talk here at Applebee's, and sometimes we're on the road doing remote shows, and we talk to all the local football coaches and some of the players, and we have special interviews, and we have some guys that call it that or cover college and stuff like that. So 10 to 12 every Saturday morning on WKAC and the PAS Plus app. So looking forward to your support, and thanks for all the likes and on our Facebook page. And like Greg said, we'll keep you updated with scores, and I try to as much as I can, halftime scores and final scores as well. So looking forward to the season, and hopefully we'll get out there Thursday night at Joe Davis.
Yep, appreciate you listening. Tune in next week for Limestone County Sports. God bless.